Oh, hi, boys and girls. This is your old pal, Uncle Al. I was reading some of my emails and some of my comments, and I have to say this. Okay, the last video I did, I need 15 more views, like always, and I need about maybe 310 more followers to follow my channel. One thing is, most homemade systems will fail. I don't care if you're praxis prepper or anyone. Most homemade systems will fail. And two, make sure you know where you're getting your water source. Now, Anna Lee Brown, if you're in Delaware, I would not drink the river water. I know it's running in your backyard. Do not do that. Most of the states on the East Coast and Central states have a special problem. East Coast for over 160 years, they've been polluted fairly well by industrial waste. You have the contention of raw sewage from people, animals like pets, and also farm animals. Add to that, you have industrial waste, 160 years. So if your house is built, I think it was a firehouse, reason why it was built like that because the water source was there and they could pump water out of the river to put out the fires. Bad thing about that, it means that the firehouse or your house is 100 years old. That river is more than 100 years old. Now people says, but Uncle Alan, the river moves and it will carry off the pollution. No, it doesn't. It settles. It picks spots. That's why EPA on the East Coast have 12 rivers that are still toxic. You kids were not born yet, all right? Who don't remember that I know 5 rivers caught on fire. And 5 rivers were so polluted that you could fill up your gas tank with it and drive to work. That's how toxic and polluted the water was. You could fill up your regular 1962 car. You're out of gas, no problem. Go to the nearest river, fill it up, and drive to work. That's how toxic it was. It was so toxic, this one river, and so full of chemicals and gas and God knows what, that if you light a match, the water would burn black. And a lot of you kids don't remember it. That's why we have the EPA now. Byproduct of the Korean War, Vietnam, and World War II. Now, hi, Ontario Prepper. This is Dino the Dinosaur. Okay, this is just updates, simple ones. So make sure when you get your water source, me, myself, and I would trust only 2 water sources. From a well, that I make sure there's no fracking or something weird around the area, like Florida. And you wonder why they have sinkholes. This is why Uncle Alan's sick and he's old. You know, this is why I do all these updates. Florida has a massive pure water system. Problem is, people have been pumping water out of the limestone system for a long time and dumping crud in it. Dead bodies, car batteries, old cars, toxic waste, you name it. So it tends to screw up the system. And what do you get? You have sinkholes all throughout Florida. Duh. Know where your source of water comes from. I have to run this through. Now, where my friend Will Russell of, where's that? I always have it here someplace. This is what happens when you have too many notes. There we go. Will Russell of Just in Time Prepping. He lives in Nebraska. Now, okay, that's Will right there. Now, biggest trouble with Will, he lives in eastern Nebraska or someplace. I can't remember which. But he has rivers and it's a flat plain. So what's the pollutant out there? It's agricultural or animal waste. How many cows died out there? Are you going to the river and drink that flooded water? That brown and chunky water with a dead cow floating by, dead pig floating by, a couple thousand dead chickens floating by, sheep floating by, people floating by. Good. That brown and chunky water. Yeah, let's test out if our filter system works. You take the first drink. Okay. Industrial waste and human service sewage at that point, I'm not going to drink the river water. Uncle Alan has a lifetime of drinking brown, green, and chunky water. I'm not that stupid anymore. Okay? Now, remember the life straw? One of these? Well, I have a friend who runs a survival channel about 7 years ago, used one of these. He successfully sued Livestraw. He went camping. They had a little flood. The runoff went into one of the local rivers. He thought it was perfectly safe to drink with the life straw. He ended up in the hospital for 2 weeks. Okay? Life straw is designed to take care of, listen carefully, biologicals. It does not take care of industrial or heavy sewage. Poo. Okay? Those two it does not take out. If the sewage is dissolved, your water is still free of bacteria, but it contains sewage. All right? Well, Uncle, we boil the water. So you had hot boiled sewage water. It's clear, but it's got dissolved sewage in it. Good. That hot brown dissolved sewage water. You can tell your kids it's coffee. Have coffee. So you have human waste and sewage dissolved into the water. You have industrial waste dissolved in the water. So you didn't know that upstream where the firehouse was a tannery 100 years ago, and further down was a cemetery. Guess where all that runoff's going to go into? The river. And if you think your simple sand carbon water filter with Berkey is going to take out the pollutants, think again. All right. This is what a lot of people, like couples, care. Oh, I'll just go out in Canada and the river and get some water out of a bucket or a beaver pond and put it through my Berkey and drink the water. Now, he did a video where he had a glass of chunky water. Well, okay, you filter it out. You put it through the Berkey. I still wouldn't drink the water. But it's boiling. We made coffee out of it. Great. So you don't see what's the contaminants in it. All right. This is a little update from my last video. Be sure you know what your water source carries. All right. I used to do a little work for Arizona Water Power and Supply to take water sample out of Colorado River. Once we're done with it, it goes to Mexico. They're not very happy with the water they get. All right. I would drink out of the toilet before I drink filtered clean water out of the Colorado River. That's how bad it is. Toilet water, Colorado River water. Okay. Now I think West Wind, a West Wind survival, is going to be in Arizona. If you see the Colorado River, do not drink out of it. All right. Some Indian tribes are smart. They don't want to drink out of it. They wait for a water truck. and they conserve water. The Navajo, the Hopi, Apache ain't crazy. Okay? They don't want to drink that water. Let the Mexicans drink the water, as they say in Indian. It's full of nutrients. Bleh. Okay? And I'm still looking for a single black pepper. I thought I found a couple. And I double check, and no, they're urban, metro, whatever. So back again to these three. We have Sister Prepper, Afro Survivalist, and Don's Tomorrow. And the rest I go check. Everybody else, like Canadian Prepper, Diecad, they're a different group. But still searching for a single black female prepper. So far, no luck. It's either a homesteader, or it's a back to earther, or it's somebody just hoarding stuff. or I have no idea. Uncle Alan's old and tired. So anyway, Anna Lee, I hope this helps out. Know what's in your river, know your area, and do not build a water filter to filter out the river in your backyard. Okay? That's kind of dangerous, and you don't know where that water's been. Bye, kids.